on him. He's a total fan, or not a fan. He's a total celebrity. All right, when he came home,
he has fans though.
He has tons of
fans. Yeah,
and that is because he's a 2-time Round of 4 GSL Code S champion, I guess. Yeah, Round of 4 champion.
Yeah, if you're,
I mean,
if you get Round of 4, you're a champion.
You already won.
You already won.
If
man.
you're a foreigner, that is, and you get to Round of 4, and he did it back to back.
I know.
That is like the hardest thing in the world. The guy really was the innovator, I guess, of macro Terran back then, all the way in the beginning of 2011, I do believe. Was it 2011?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the very beginning.
Starcraft is so old now, over a year old.
Over a year
old.
Yeah.
It's a year and a month.
It's been a great year.
It has been a great year. But you know what, Jinrel, he's definitely one of the people that have made it such an amazing time, just because it's been such a great time watching him in on television or GSL and rooting for that guy. Now I get to root for him in the NASL.
Yeah, Jinro is actually my favorite Terran player to watch back when I played Terran. Because it'd be like he'd make it to GSL and he would do like crazy builds, even versus MC. He did a mech build and took him down, and I was like, that doesn't even make sense. You know, like what just happened? Like I had to watch the VOD twice.
Yeah.
Which is like double the Artosis and Tasteless, which you can't complain about.
No.
But and so he's just an amazing player. He's been such a good player ever since he made his breakout at MLG and won MLG. Ever since then, he's just been a great Terran player.
And it wasn't just any MLG; it was the MLG Finals,
MLG Championship of 2010.
That was crazy. He won that in Dallas. The guy is looking so good. Can't wait to see how he plays against Maro, who has been just training a ton. Match number 2, we're going to have softball versus sake. Now, a lot of people don't know about softball.
Right.
So let me go ahead and explain him a little bit. He is a Taiwanese superstar. He trains opposite of Sen. He's the Terran version of Sen in Taiwan. Now, Sen definitely has risen and become probably one of the best Zergs in the world. Softball's still trying to catch up, but I don't want to take it away from him. He is such a fantastic player. He he's really starting out, breaking through into the scene a little bit. He played against Idra, and I'll be honest, Idra last week crushed him really tough. I'm interested to see how he does against his other very tough opponent, Sake, and I want to see his Terran vs. Preshow style coming from the Taiwanese scene.
I don't know much about softball, but I'll be interested to see what he has in store for us. You know, he made it to this event. He qualified for the NASL, so he's got something to show us.
Yes. I mean, you know what? I've watched replays of him for sure. I've watched VODs of him. He fights in the TESL. He also trains on the Korean server.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have to be very strong to be able to keep up with the top. And I've seen the capabilities. I've seen the potential. He has great decision-making. I think we're in for a huge treat with him against Sake, who I want to almost call him like the artist / engineer. He has that perfect balance of being really creative and being very meticulous with what he does.
He's also one of the best Protoss versus Terran players out there. Like, that is his specialty. If I have to label him, he is a Protoss versus Terran specialist.
And I also want to get out there that he's probably the most underrated player in the world right now.
Really?
Not in the world.
In the world?
No, not in the world. But he's
I thought that was me. No,
yeah, that is you. I was just going to say, you know, because you obviously are much better than... Roaches are pretty good, I heard. ZVT, though.
They're really good.
Right, Adria? Okay, so... what was I saying? Sake.
Sake.
You know what? Sake doesn't get enough credit. This guy
doesn't.
is really freaking good. Right? He is top Protoss in the entire scene. He's of that like core German group, that very top tier, with Hasuops, with TLO, with Dark Force, that kind of thing. I always see that German scene being so strong. Sake, he's probably one of the most scary people in the world in terms of his Protoss. When you meet him in real life, he's probably the nicest person in the world. He is like the most soft-spoken. He's such a cool guy.
I know. He looks scary. He looks like a Viking.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, he does.
He does. He's like the German version of G5.
Yeah, the German version of G5. But he's such a nice guy.
Yes, he is.
Absolutely. And, you know, he just doesn't get enough credit. Like,
no,
he doesn't get the publicity that he actually deserves as a player.
Exactly. I would love him to have as much, as players like, maybe Idra, maybe In Control, both those players. Not saying anything about their skill. I think both of them are fantastic players, but I think Sake deserves that type of attention too because he's so strong. Needless to say, let's go ahead and get into our first match, which is what we're starting off on. It's going to be Hwangsin versus Idra. Now, this is going to be a cool map. Okay, let me ask you, who is this guy Idra?
Who is this guy Idra? All right, well, he puts evil in the geniuses category. So he's an absolutely amazing Zerg player. He is considered the bad boy of the American scene, if not just the foreign scene in general.
The world.
The world? Yeah, the world. I mean, Koreans are all too nice.
Koreans hate him.
Yeah,
Koreans hate him. Okay? Everybody, because I know someone said, I forgot in what interview, but someone said every single Korean knows of Idra and always wants to face him because he's so bad man around the ladder.
That's what happens when you don't say good game. And
no,
you talk
instead you say other stuff. And they know what it means. But, Idra, definitely that boy, and he's playing awesome too, might I say.
I mean, as really of late, he has lost some. He's dropped some games that I thought he would definitely win. In the last MLG, lost his show. And I thought for sure he would take those kind of matches. But that doesn't take away from the fact that Idra is an amazing player.
Correct.
And that he has the capabilities of beating anyone.
And he definitely has the capability of beating a player like Hwangsin. He's from It's Gosu. The guy just recently started to play on that team, and he's gotten so much better, I think, ever since starting on there. It's Gosu has really facilitated an environment where he can just train. That's all he does. That's all he wants to do. He looked great at MLG. I can't wait to see what happens in this Protest vs. Zerg. We're actually going to be starting off there in a little bit. Before we go there, I do want to make a couple announcements. First, of course, if you're watching in that low-quality stream, go ahead, and if you're interested, check out that 1080p stream. It's really, really cool. You get it, of course, in crystal clear 1080p. You get to see our shining faces. That was perfect. Thank you, by the way. Okay. You get to see our shining faces. Along with that, you get to see some Starcraft in, really, really good quality. It's just about the same quality you watch if you're playing Starcraft. So check that out. It's going to be at www.nasl.tv. It also entitles you to a commercial-free experience along with VOD access. Huge thanks to our sponsors, Azo, and iBuyPower. Azo is, of course, the monitor company that sponsors us. We get to watch all of the ultra-setting StarCraft 2 on our Azo monitors while it's produced from our iBuyPower computers. These iBuyPower computers, of course, are running everything in ultra settings along with streaming and capturing everything that goes into making these productions. It's an awesome company, iBuyPower and Azo, and definitely check them out because they are supporting esports. It's so great that they're making their breakthrough. So great that this industry is growing so much.
It is, and they support esports.
They support esports.
We should support them.
Exactly. So a huge thanks to them. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get into the first game. It's going to be Idra versus Hwangsin. Stay tuned, everybody. A lot of the action is coming up your way.
Welcome to the North American Star League. Ladies and gentlemen, it's here. I never knew that when StarCraft 2 would come out that we would have anywhere near this big of a scene internationally. $50,000 will be awarded to someone that is such a staggering number.
This is not just a game, it's an all-out war. 40 of the world's top players all competing for the title of NASL champion. Welcome